Good morning everybody, welcome to our second state of the game, and have we got a lot of content for you today. And I'm going to start off with our big announcement, so if you watch any part of this video, you probably want to make sure it's the start. So, we've been hyping you up for the last few weeks, and I know we've had some criticism for that, but one thing I will promise you is that if we ever hype it ourselves, or you, for any reason, we have a reason for it, and we will follow it up with evidence at some point. You know? And here it is. Essentially, it's these guys. Quixel Megascans. We've had the luxury of working with these guys over the last few weeks, or rather their material at least. They have been kind enough to grant us some level of sponsorship and really increased the amount of quality of our work, which has been amazing. So what Quixel do, you can check them out at quixel.se, but what they do is they do high resolution 4K real world quality textures and assets for games and 3D programs. So we're going to have a fantastic level of detail in this game, and we're going to be able to scan absolutely everything. We'll skin everything and make sure it looks the part for our entire game. So a lot of that content's in the engine now, which is why we held off telling you all. We wanted to be in a position that we can actually show you that this is true. We're not just, hyping it up and saying, yeah, we have these textures. We have better than that. We have a way of showing you what we have in game already. So we've been trying to keep this under our hat for a while, but if anyone who's got a keen eye might have picked up on it on the streams. So, essentially, in-game, it looks a little bit like this. Now, these are taken from in the engine, in the editor, so they're not fully lit the same as you would expect once we get to final release, but it gives you an idea, especially in comparison here between the left and the right rocks, the difference in quality in the textures. They're high detail, they're ultra realistic, and once we build these into our games and polish them up, they're going to look absolutely fantastic. The other nice thing about this as well, these are all taken using NVIDIA Ansel. So those of you running NVIDIA cards and high-spec machines are going to have the luxury of running not only 4K, but using Ansel to its full potential as well, and they look really good. So yeah, that's all coming in the near future, and we've got some comparison video that you might have picked up on the State of the Game video. A lot of that now is using the Megascans, and you're going to see that now through a lot of parts of this video as well. Got a few more techie things to cover, and then we're going to go and jump into some actual footage. Essentially, the other thing that we are releasing with today's release is going to be a public sort of roadmap. I say sort of roadmap because I've called it roadmap, but realistically it's more of a database of all the information we've released so far to you guys, so that you have somewhere central to look. You can also vote on these cards, so things you like you can let us know, and things there's no down button, but don't vote for the things you don't like, I guess. We'll be able to use this way of grabbing some part of feedback. The website's not quite ready yet, and the reason behind that is that I want to release something that's high quality. The rest of the team do too. We don't want to release just some sort of placeholder website that is going to have to be redeveloped. We're wasting development time. We're wasting your guys' time. It's just not nice. So this is a project management board. We're using a similar technology already for our in-house, which is why we decided to use this for now. It's not permanent, but everything is available to you. So if you click on someone like Theo, you can see her concept art, and her actual kit that we released earlier in the week, and any other progress that goes through, such as the videos we've been releasing for her actual development. The same thing, you can go for Aurelia. You can pick Aurelia and you can go through her material that we released, and all that kind of content. So that kind of falls out through the whole lot here. There's also some images on this site that we haven't released elsewhere, so if you do have a go of a dig around, you might find a few nice little treats waiting around for you. We'll try and keep this up to date, but yeah, hopefully before too much longer we'll be on a proper website, and all this will be re-centralized anyway, and we'll have a way of actually gathering some proper feedback and having proper voting on it. So that'd be really nice. But it's not quite there yet. So that's that part. The other thing that we're also working on, which we've had a lot of questions at, but we've done an enormous amount of progress on, so I can't shout enough to the back-end guys who've been doing an awful amount of work on getting certain things sorted, is things like this. This is going to be what our rough menu system is going to look like, but this is the HUD settings. And what we're going to do is provide a way of having a completely customizable HUD. So you can move any items around, you can change them out, swap them, multiple crosshairs, various colors and settings, all that kind of thing. But keeping it consistent enough that we don't run into, say, communication issues and things. We want to make the game as streamer and YouTuber friendly as possible, so that those people who do want to do that kind of material with our game can do so, and can do so in a way that they can put their cameras where they want, or their overlays however they like, and they're not covering up important game information, unlike a lot of other programs. So this is going to give you the freedom to do that. This is actually functionally working. The image above is technically concept art. However, the functionality is all now done in wireframe. It's all working. I think actually our menus are a little bit further ahead than what our video is going to show later as well. But the back-end work behind this is insane. The amount of programming code we've done for not just the HUD, but for friend systems, for chat systems, for the HUD itself, for the social settings, for instancing, server connections, all that kind of thing. All that's behind the scenes. It's not something you can easily show off in Engine, but you know, we've done an enormous amount of work there. But I am thinking of doing a techie video sometime in the near future, so that's going to help a lot. One of the other luxuries coming up in the new video that you're going to see very, very soon is that we now have full development pipeline building. So this is really a techie, geeky bit, but this kind of shows that we can actually automate our installation tools and that kind of thing, and that's going to push straight through into various different bits and pieces, and shows kind of things what we're testing with. So that's all kind of coming up in the near future. But the nice thing behind that is a lot of the footage you're about to see in the next videos and things I'm about to show is not just editor work, it is actually built lighting and gameplay video between team members playing the game and connecting via multiplayer menus and lobbies and all that kind of thing. It was had to do in a few pieces because we had some early problems, but yes, the problem with trying to come out with deadlines, you always want to get that one more thing in, and it's kind of difficult to do. So, onto our video. I really wanted to be able to get Aurelia's full animations into the game, so you could actually see that as I was running around. I couldn't quite get it in time because of the deadlines, so I grabbed some snippets of some of the animations we're working on at the moment. They're not fully polished, they're not finished. They are, you know, but they're coming along, and I wanted to show that progress is there, because it's easy. Anybody can drop something in an engine that's a static material and make it look like you've done something. We are doing more than that. We have a ton of stuff coming together. So yeah, so Aurelia is in the engine, and she's working, but she's using mannequin animations at the moment. But yes, the animations are not far behind. Our animation team are working their asses off trying to catch up and do that. But they also came on board a bit later than a lot of the other team, so we need to get that all sorted. And they can't start work until we actually have a model for them to do something. They've had less time to play with it, so we'll get there. So this is our comparison video that we showed in our other State of the Game video. So as you can see, there's a lot of mega scans now in here. So we've got brand new grass, we've got brand new textures on the grounds, the rocks, the custom 3D models we've created, the minions, all fully high quality. We've had a complete revamp of our user login system, so it now actually looks the part. The functionality is now also almost complete, and it works quite nicely. Our main menu, actually it looks newer than this now. It's typical that, you know, things are always moving forwards, and a lot of the concept you saw from the HUD picture a moment ago is now actually on here. But the interesting thing is, from our development tab, what we do have working is we can now fire instances inside of our cloud platform and do that on demand for matches. So once our matchmaking technology comes in, we're actually going to have a way of doing that. We now have a fully working lobby. We've turned the timer off for the sake of the video, but essentially you can pick a hero, pick a role, lock in, join with other people. You spawn alongside them all, and we end up with 10 plus people. So, 10 people, rather. Now, we had various bugs right in this video that we weren't really anticipating. As you see, the core doesn't exist, which was a build issue, which we've now resolved. The basic attacks were very slapped together. Again, we've updated that. I've got that footage actually in this video later on down the line. I want to show you some of the verticality. But the ability system is actually firing and working now fully, whereas we were very early days in developing that ability system in the last video, so that's an awful lot closer to where we were. We still don't really have any way of sound in the game. We are working on identifying what middleware we would like to go about using, and how we want to implement that in order to get those sounds in. So although our sound team have done some fantastic work in getting sound effects created, voice lines created, announcer packs, some of the music you're seeing from the State of the Game video. We just don't quite have all that in the actual engine yet for you to hear. So hopefully next State of the Game we'll hopefully have something that's a bit more audible, as well as just the action-packed from running around shooting at one another. But as I said, we've made big improvements to this already, which is not really obvious in some of these videos. But this shows 10 players working on a map. This is all working on a server that's hosted online. So once we get into the point where we can actually do matchmaking, competitive mode, quick matches mode, that logical functionality is almost working now, though we still have some work to do on getting all that automation going and how we're going to pick up people. So for those of you who remember Legacy, we're mimicking the jungle in some ways, in the respect that we want to have this nice overarching canopy so it feels like you're inside the jungle, and give it enough complexity that you had that little enough room to move, but enough room to really maneuver and feel like you're a part of that. We've been working on our luminosity and changing of lighting from day to night cycles. Now, whether or not this makes it in-game or how we're about to go about doing it, we're not 100% sure yet, but this just shows how we're looking at creating our plant life and our grass to be luminescent and to keep the jungle alive even when it's dark, and the rest of the world will be able to light up parts of the map without it feeling unnatural. I'm going to show off some verticality in a moment as well, as that seems to be a major section of things that people are interested in talking about. We want to be able to provide the verticality that we felt Monolith never quite did. So we're going to allow lots of areas that you can run up and down. This is just one of many. And make sure that we spec our kits to really take advantage of some of those verticality areas when we have that, so that you can juke or dive into a team fight from top lane, again running and retreating into the jungle from the bottom. Yeah, I'm jumping into the rock. This was because we were testing the collision meshes. Our collision meshes up until this week were virtually non-existent. You could run through nearly every rock, so that's all kind of sorted. This is some later footage. As you can see, we've updated the auto attacks and sorted out our replication issues, so that our ability system actually was firing the way we expected it to do so. It's kind of funny at the moment because your basic attacks can actually collide and explode. I'm not sure whether it will keep that, but it's definitely something that's quite fun in the game at the moment. Yeah, so hopefully that's kind of covering most of it. I can't think what else we've got in. Have a quick. Oh yeah, the AI's had some more work. Minion lanes are now working a little bit more than they were before. The towers have been replaced with a new version of the tower. That new version of the tower has the full mechanics attached to it, so that they actually react the way our mechanics team are hoping they do. This is, again, a placeholder part just so you can shoot it. It's going to get replaced at some point, but I needed something on the map. And they fire from the top of the towers. Targeting lasers for some reason aren't working just at the moment. We're going to get that in hopefully very soon, so that we can actually know when you're inside the radius of the tower. But you can now see health of the tower once you enter and exit it. Yeah, the minion AI is still behaving a little bit oddly at the moment. We're working on sorting that out. So we're not too far off on that front. And as you can see, you can still die, you can respawn. The HUD updates correctly. The 10-player mode on the HUD still needs a little bit of work we're getting on there. And we don't have an item system, they're still just placeholders at the moment, so that's coming in soon. Again, lots of verticality, so we'll be running up and down the lanes in different places. But again, I know keep showing that same piece of everything else. We're still putting an awful lot of the assets in the map. And do remember, all this is still work in progress, so we're going to make an awful lot of changes. Prime is now on the map, as you can see. He's not rigged yet, but that'll be hopefully coming up soon. As soon as we've got Aurelia finished being rigged and the rigger team are able to move on to the next one, I think Prime is on the list. So that is going to be hopefully moving around and attacking people in the pit before we know it. And as you can see, we've tried to manage bottlenecks where we can as well. There's been a lot of concern about how... Oh, yeah. Okay, so as our core didn't spawn properly, the game didn't end. And this was a build issue. We fixed this. So I thought I'd just throw in a nice little clip at the end of a funny little scenario we found where all our minions were just piling up at the end and stood around in core. So, yeah, I think that just about covers everything we wanted to get through. Constantly striving to do better and make more content, and show you things. There's a lot of new concept art. There's going to be a lot more things coming up, and a lot more things we can show you both on stream and off. So let us know what you think, and thank you for watching.